birthday, I gotta be brave. Another year older and nearer the grave. Spare me, Lord, for another year. The great unknown is my greatest fear. Oh, oh, Lord. Where do we go when we don't? It just ain't fair. We all are going, but we don't know where. The fires of hell, the pearly gate. Are we reborn, Lord? What's our fate? Oh, oh, Lord. Where do we go when we go? The sun, soon my race will be run, and thy will, Lord, will be done. But who knows what is still to come? Yeah. Oh, oh, Lord. Where do we go when we go? So much. That's an original song called Where Do We Go When We Go. I'm going to do something completely different. This is a jazz song from the 1930s. Sit right down and write myself a letter. Gonna make believe it came from you. Gonna write words oh so sweet. They're gonna knock me off my feet. All them kisses on the bottom, I'll be so glad I got 'em. Smile and say, I hope you're feeling better. Then I'll close with love the way you do. Gonna sit right down and write myself a letter. I'm gonna make believe it came from you. myself a letter. Gonna make believe it came from you. I'm gonna write words oh so sweet. They're gonna knock me off my feet. All them kisses on the bottom, I'll be so glad I got 'em. Smile and say, I hope you're feeling better. Then I'll close with love the way you do. I'm gonna sit right down and write myself a letter. I'm gonna make believe it came from make believe it. Well, it came from make believe it came from you. Thank you so much.
It's lunchtime and the Brooklyn Cafe is open for business. Live from the Amp Media Studios, Dawn and Freddie S. and their team are ready to serve up a huge portion of fun for lunch with friends and neighbors. So let's break open that lunch pail and unwrap that sandwich you brought and take a front row seat in the Brooklyn Cafe and get ready to enjoy some humor and hot topics. It's time to get a healthy serving of hope and happiness to help your day go by with a smile. Your hosts, Dawn and Freddie S., are ready to talk about food, health, dating, or just plain dream making. If you have a story to share, movie review, restaurant critique, or just a coincidental thing that happened to you, call in toll-free 888-994-4995, Studio A right now. Sit back and enjoy your lunch break at the Brooklyn Cafe. Here are your hosts, Dawn and Freddie S.
Welcome to the Midday Show. Intensity is the word of today.
Buckle up and hold on. But wow, what some great music to start our midday show on this. It's only Wednesday.
Krabby Crackers.
On this only Wednesday hump day. Robert
Hump
Ross.
Day? Yes. I feel like I'm in New York in the jazz club.
Well, you know, he's won a few awards doing what he's been
heard.
doing.
He's somebody, as they say.
Robert, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me.
What a great way to start our Wednesday. You came in a little bit early today, and we were shooting some things. And
Hello!
Hello! I feel like I'm woken up finally.
he comes in, hello, and everyone's like, where'd that voice come from? And then he walks outside, and I didn't know where he went.
Well, I told him that we had to set up and then take down, set up. You saw the whole transportation. I didn't want to get him run over while we were doing that.
But wow, what a great way
nice
to start
sound.
the day.
You know, we did this on the turn of a dime, and it sounds pretty good. You happy with it?
You talking to me? Because I can't
Just look at the
hardly hear
TV.
you.
Can you see me? Look at the TV.
I see you.
Can you hear me?
I hear you now.
Tell you what, why don't we take a commercial break? We're going to
No, this is the intensity in that lady over there.
No, you and I, we're going to move over there and we'll talk to him.
We're going to move over there.
All right, we're going to take a quick commercial break. More to
I guess
come with
moving over there.
Robert Ross.
We're coming, Robert!
We'll be right there. We'll be right back.
Finding the world's best coffee. Nothing can stop Don Pablo from getting you the rarest coffees. Traveling across continents, climbing the highest mountains, overcoming immense obstacles, all for the quest of greatness. Experience this excitement with every sip.
Discover Rosie's Garden. The collection draws inspiration from the beautiful niece of the founder, Rosie, who brought joy to many before passing too soon. Her beauty and spirit are reflected in every piece. Founded by two friends, Rosie's Garden is a female-owned brand passionate about creating stunning, elegant jewelry that embodies the concept of bellissima, the Italian word for beautiful. With a philosophy rooted in grace and elegance, the brand crafts each piece of jewelry using only the finest materials, including 18-karat gold and the highest quality craftsmanship, ensuring that every piece is a true work of art.
Looking for a night out that actually gives back? Amp Media Futures Foundation presents Caps Off for a Cause. Join us at Crazy Uncle Mike's. Enjoy drinks, light bites, live entertainment, and real connection. May 12th, 5 to 7:30 p.m. Tickets are just $36 donation. Spots are limited, so grab yours now. Sponsor opportunities are available.
Looking for music that brings back the memories? True Oldies FLA is South Florida's premier destination for timeless hits from the 1960s, 70s, and 80s. Brought to you by M2 TV Network. Broadcasting across multiple FM and HD stations, including 95.3 FM in Delray Beach and Boca Raton, 95.9 FM in Palm Beach County, 96.9 FM in Broward County and North Miami-Dade, and 106.9 FM on the Treasure Coast. True Oldies, FLA. Feel good music that spans generations.
You're listening to the Midday Brooklyn Cafe Show with Dawn and Freddie S. Every weekday from 12 to 2, tune in for the ultimate midday escape. The perfect blend of entertainment, culture, and community, all served up with a side of Brooklyn flair. It's the South Florida show that everyone's talking about.
You've been watching the Brooklyn Cafe Show. Join us each day and after hours as we talk about the hot topics to open the conversations and share a few laughs. Now, back to Dawn and Freddie S.
Okay, we're back. We found Robert. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
If you can't hear me from here, I'll do smoke signals.
That might be better.
We really need a behind-the-scenes cam on what goes on here during commercial
It's
break.
unbelievable. Unbelievable, is all I can say.
It's because Dana and Wendy are here.
That's because Dana and Wendy, they bring this energy level. It makes people run for the hills.
Because all of the thems, they seem to think this is funny. So they're all just chatting and laughing, going, yeah, let's see how much we can make Dawn run around today and aggravate her.
You are like on another planet today. And then I look, Max is in the studio today, and she has 2 different color shoes. And she says, no, this is a pair.
It is.
I said, a pair of wrong color shoes. She said, no, it's perception. One is red and one is white.
Super cool, right?
And that's the way you wear them.
Yes. All right, you ready to talk to Robert?
Yes.
How did we meet Robert? Was it through Helen?
No, Elliot.
Elliot?
Elliot.
All right, just keep your mic closer.
Oh, Elliot Zimmerman.
All right, so tell us a little bit about you and your history. You're all over the New York jazz and blues scene and 2 awards.
I served 5 years in the penitentiary. No.
6 years.
Well, I'm born in Brooklyn. Bethel Hospital
Her
in
mother
East
worked there.
Flatbush. 19 bum. And grew up in New York, Brooklyn, Queens. Lived in Staten Island for a while, if you want to call that living. And I've been playing music it seems like my whole life. Since I was 16, but I really started on piano. So that was when I was about 10, 12. I didn't enjoy taking lessons. I never practiced because he would give me songs to learn like Pop Goes the Weasel and Happy Birthday, and I wasn't going to practice that. And then one day he gave me something really good, which I can now describe. I didn't have the vocabulary then, but it was a kind of a gypsy, jazzy, melancholy thing in a minor key that really, I mean, he played it for me, the teacher, and I had to read it. And it sounded so wonderful. I mean, every time he would come for a lesson, he would give me the last week's assignment to play. And I would look at the page and look at the piano and hit a note and hit another note, and I couldn't play anything. But the piece that he gave me this particular week was so good to my ears, it tickled me in the head somehow. And the only way I was going to hear it again was to learn it and be able to play it, because we didn't have internet, we didn't have YouTube, nothing. I mean, what am I going to go to the library and ask for the song? I mean, they have books there.
So you learned the song.
I practiced it every day until I could play. I mean, the guys were calling me to play punch ball or stick ball or something. I'll see you later. And I practiced it, and the next week he shows up, and I played it perfectly, and he said, "What happened?" I said, "I don't know." I said,
Hold your mic up, bro.
I really wanted to hear the piece again, and the only way I was going to hear it again was to play it myself. So I played it over and over and over again until I could play it by memory. I said, I guess if you give me pieces like this to play, I'll practice. And he gave me another horrible piece. And I told my mother, I'm done. So I didn't start playing until I was 16. And then a friend of mine, Howie Sklar, we went to a dance. And he said there was a really good band there. And they were pretty good. And on the way home, he said, you know, Robert, I have a guitar. I said, oh, that's nice. He says, if you get a guitar, we could play together. I said, yeah. He says, if we play together, I could show you some chords. I said, yeah. If I show you some chords, we could start a band. I said, yeah. If we start a band, we can meet some girls. I said, okay, when do we start? How do we do this? I mentioned it to my mother. She says, Robert, you have a piano. What do you need I said, a piano is no good. I mean, if I go to the beach, no, she says to me, if you go to a party and there's a piano there, you could be the hit of the party and meet girls that way. I said, Ma, if I go to the beach, I could bring my guitar with me. And there'll be girls in bikinis. So.
And the rest, as they say, is history.
Yeah.
So your music legend is all based on a bikini.
What
and
was
the
that?
Girls.
Your music legend is based on a bikini. And
I
things
guess
in
so.
it.
You know, there's a strong attraction.
So tell me about some of the jazz clubs that you played in New York.
Well, I played mostly blues clubs, but also some jazz clubs. I played the Village Gate.
Village Gate, yes. No,
Yeah, the Village Gate was fantastic. I opened up for A.C. Reed. A.C. Reed is the cousin of Jimmy Reed, one of the most famous blues men of all times. And I opened up for him for, I think, 3 nights and met a booking agent who was a booking agent for A.C. Reed. And he started booking me in Jersey. And that was a very interesting experience.
So have you been all over the country playing jazz?
Mostly the North
Quarter?
the Northeast and Canada, but also Europe. And I won 2 New York Music Awards. That was a pretty big deal.
Says you won Best Blues Artist in 1989 and Best Live Blues Artist in 2011. And
Right.
inducted into the New York Blues Hall of Fame in 2011.
Where are you getting all this
That's pretty
information?
amazing.
That's pretty good.
And then I moved
Incredible.
down here in 2017. And I competed in 3 blues challenges since that time and won those. And went to Memphis to compete in the International Blues Challenge, where I made the semifinals twice.
Incredible. And now what are you doing? You playing with Elliot?
Once in a blue moon.
Okay.
I have a new album out called Gospel Gems. So I play some gospel music on it, and but mostly I play classic rock and blues and some jazz and you know a little soul, a little country, a little of this, that, and the other thing. And I write.
Sounds fantastic. Awesome.
Anything coming up? Any adventures?
I'm playing Blue Jean Blues in Fort Lauderdale on Sunday, May 10th, 9 o'clock. Blue Jean Blues on 33rd Street over there.
Are you playing by yourself or the band?
Myself.
Wow.
Most of the gigs that I'm doing now are solo gigs.
Very cool.
My website is robertrossband.com, but I haven't really had a band since the pandemic. Once in a while. I'm starting to put something together now.
You want the band again?
What?
You want to do a band again?
Yeah.
Very nice. All right, check it out. Robert Ross. Blue Jean Blues on Sunday, May 10th.
Right.
Check it out. And for more information, you can find him, download your music on Spotify, Apple Music.
I'm on Bandcamp.
Bandcamp, okay.
I'm not sure about Spotify. I think some of my stuff is on Spotify, but
Should
I
be, yeah.
don't know what. Mostly it's Bandcamp is pretty cool, and you can download over there.
Oh, that's cool. All right. Thank you very much. All right, let's take a break.
You want him to set up to take us a break, or you want to?
Let's take a commercial break. We come back, we'll do one more song. We'll head into the intern corner, and then you know what today is. 10 Recommendments Book Club, Recommendment 4. But more to come with Robert Ross, the crew for Amp Media Futures Foundation, the Interns Corner with Sydney Thomas, and we'll be right back.
Our preschool team provides personalized education and therapy services that are specifically designed to meet the unique needs of our children. These students are overcoming medical conditions that have been affecting their physical abilities since birth. Our specialized teacher and therapists understand the critical role that occupational and physical therapy play in helping these young children to develop essential skills in their early education program. We like for the children to leave us as shining stars and enter the big world of kindergarten.
Welcome to La Mesa Cafe Bistro, where every cup has a story. From freshly brewed coffee to comforting, flavorful dishes, it's the perfect place to slow down and savor the moment. Open 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. from Tuesday to Saturday, and 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. on Sunday and Monday. Stop by and taste the difference at 48 Northeast 1st Avenue in Boca Raton.
Looking for great coffee and a place to unwind? Come to Tiki Coffee and Desserts. We serve gourmet coffee made fresh, rich espresso, smooth lattes, and handcrafted specialty drinks made just the way you like them. Pair it with one of our delicious desserts, from creamy cheesecakes to fresh pastries and sweet treats made to satisfy every craving. No matter what you're in the mood for, you can trust that it's been prepared with care and quality ingredients. Enjoy a warm, welcoming atmosphere where our friendly staff make you feel right at home the moment you walk in. Whether you're meeting friends, taking a break, getting some work done, or simply treating yourself, Tiki Coffee and Desserts is the perfect stop. Don't miss out on an irresistible experience you'll want to come back to again and again. Tiki Coffee and Desserts, the hottest new coffee shop in Boca.
At AM2 TV, we don't just create content, we produce experiences. From concept to final cut, we bring your vision to life with cinematic quality and precision. Whether it's music videos, branded content, or live productions, we make it stand out. AM2 TV, where your vision gets amplified.
You're listening to the Midday Brooklyn Cafe Show with Dawn and Freddie S. Every weekday from 12 to 2, tune in for the ultimate midday escape. The perfect blend of entertainment, culture, and community, all served up with a side of Brooklyn flair. It's the South Florida show that everyone's talking about.
You've been watching the Brooklyn Cafe Show. Join us each day and after hours as we talk about the hot topics to open the conversations and share a few laughs. Now, back to Dawn and Freddie S.
In 1692, during the Salem witch trials in Massachusetts, Edward Bishop was jailed after suggesting flogging as a cure for witchcraft. His arrest occurred amid widespread fear and accusations in the Salem community. The event reflects the intense paranoia and harsh legal actions of the witch trial period. At high noon on April 22, 1889, thousands of settlers rushed into the Oklahoma Territory during the Oklahoma Land Rush of 1889 to claim land. The nearly 2 million acres had previously been part of Indian Territory, where Native American tribes such as the Cherokee, Chickasaw, and Chickasaw had been relocated. This event marked a major step in westward expansion and further displacement of indigenous peoples. On April 22nd, 1957, John Irvin Kennedy became the first African-American player for the Philadelphia Phillies, helping integrate the National League a decade after Jackie Robinson broke the color barrier. He entered a game as a pinch runner against the Brooklyn Dodgers. Kennedy had previously played in the Negro Leagues and was signed by the Phillies in 1956. The Big Mac debuted on April 22nd, 1967 at a McDonald's franchise in Pennsylvania, created by Jim Delegati to compete with Burger King. It originally sold for 45 cents and featured 2 beef patties, a medium bun, lettuce, cheese, pickles, onions, and special sauce. After proving popular, it expanded nationwide in 1968 and became one of McDonald's most iconic menu items.
We made her stop. She must have thought I was a long gone jerk. We got off the train in El Paso. Her lover was so fine, Jack, I couldn't let her go. Get along, sweet little woman, get along. Better be on your way, get along. Sweet little woman, get along. Better be on your way with the heave. Oh, just couldn't let her go. Yeah! Train kept the rolling all night long. 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 Train kept the rolling all night long, and I just couldn't let her go.
Robert Ross, thank you so much. Check it out at Blue Jean Blues on Sunday, May 10th. What time, Robert?
9 o'clock.
9 o'clock. Check. I hear Blue Jean Blues is the place to go for jazz music in South Florida. We've had a lot of artists on here that when they get to play. Jesse Campos been there. We've had a lot of artists.
You know Jesse Campos?
What's that?
You know Jesse Campos?
A different tempo?
And that.
I'm Jesse.
But check out Robert Ross. You can find him all over social media. And what an honor to have you join us in studio. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Wow. Hello.
All right, we're going to head over to our intern corner because May 12th is around the corner also.
Around the corner, yeah.
2 days after May 10th. Everything's right around the corner.
2 days after May 10th, and then 4 days after May 10th.
He's going to be at Blue Jean Blues on the 10th.
And it's 16 more days after May 12th. And if you keep going, Christmas will be here any day now.
It's so funny. I got a text from some friends wanting to get together and go out for my birthday, which was in March, and her birthday's in June. She goes, before it's 2027, we need to put a date on the calendar. So she's already got us past Christmas and Hanukkah into New Year before her birthday in June.
Well, that's not bad. I got an invite to meet some friends for lunch on May 12th. So I changed it to dinner. Then I changed it to Boca. Then I changed it to the event.
I was going to say May 12th. That's not happening.
So they're coming to the event.
Perfect.
That's the way it works.
So our crew's going to be at the event. It is Tuesday, May 12th at Crazy Uncle Mike's. It is all to benefit the AMP Media Futures Foundation. And actually, if you could see behind the scenes of what goes on here, you would see what they get to do and all of the skills. But you're going to hear it firsthand from our interns. We've got Sydney Thomas and Ashley Hoffman joining us, a.k.a. what do you call Sydney? Does she have a nickname?
Sydney.
Okay, Sydney
Australia.
and Candy, Australia and Candy.
And Candy.
And Sydney's mom has been all over social media. She is so proud of you, Sydney. Have you seen her comments? I hope we get to meet her.
Yes, you will. You definitely will. She's excited to come on May 12th at Crazy Uncle Mike's.
And I have to say, the pieces that you and JJ did for the last edition of Amplified,
wow,
unbelievable. Max's Craft Corner and all the things.
Did you see it?
Social Circle, and I know a lot of the pages that you worked on and JJ did. Really spectacular what you ladies have done.
Thank you. We tried. We really did. It was kind of hard thinking of things to come up with, you know, when the weeks are a little slower, but we put something good together. So I'm glad that you like it. And here now we have the interns corner, and like we said, we have Ashley. She does our social media too, and I just want to talk to her a little bit more about what exactly she does. I mean, I know they have a podcast out, so you could talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, so we just filmed our first episode for the Social Circle. I think we're pushing that out today. It took a while to edit. I mentioned the May 12th event in there. So other than that, I agree it's been hard to find things other than what we have been doing for the event, but I'm trying my best to come up with other ideas. I'm remaking a flyer right now, but targeting it more towards the sponsors rather than just attendees in general.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm doing right now.
So what exactly do you talk about on your social circle? Is it just a little bit of everything, just some lifestyle things?
Yeah, it's kind of just to have people understand what we experience, us for girls at our age in college, also having an internship, how our lives are pretty busy, and what we do all around. Pretty much.
That's awesome. I love just to hear normal things.
Mm-hmm.
It's so relatable and makes me feel better about my life crumbling sometimes. But so how long have you been here? When did you start? I think you came here a little bit after me, just a little, not much though.
I think I started in early November.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure. So what, 5-6 months now? I
Sounds
think?
about right, because I came here in October.
Mm-hmm.
Did you come here already knowing that you wanted to do social media stuff, or did you kind of...
Yeah, I've always wanted to do marketing, especially social media marketing. I just don't know direction-wise if I want to do, like, you know, graphic design or more of, like, managing accounts kind of a thing.
Yeah.
Still figuring that part out.
I get that. Me too. And that's why I love being here, because it's so open to try just a little bit of everything. Like, you don't have to be stuck in one thing. And I started trying to do the technology stuff, the soundboard things. It never worked out for me. So I kind of just naturally pivoted to, like, the social media stuff.
Yeah.
So I enjoy it too. It's awesome.
You know, the amazing thing about these young ladies, number one, Candy, the redheaded one, is the youngest intern we have.
Sure.
That's the first thing. And you wouldn't know that because she's so adult. And the second thing is that the two of them are very shy. Candy would never do this when she first came, ever. And with a lot of persuading, so forth and so on, she's able to do this. So what we teach here is exactly, this is a byproduct of what you're looking at. Sydney's always been made for in front of the mic, always. We try to put her on board and sound and all that. The technical stuff is not her creating, as she did with the magazine, and she's doing this for us. Now, this is a prime example of why we want to keep the doors open, doing the things that they do, to give them an opportunity to find out what they're going to be good at. You know, I mean, the youngest intern is finding out where she's going to be going next in her life, and that's pretty important business. So again, proud of them. I wish it was another word, because if you were where I was and where Dawn was at the very beginning of these two, and where they are today, you would say, holy smokes, look at the change in these two. And this goes for a few people in here.
Sydney's mom said, thank you for all that we do here and the opportunities that the crew is offered to participate in. It was so nice. Everything I got to read from your mom was so super sweet. So I really hope that we get to meet her at the event.
You definitely will.
She commented on social media, which is incredible, the opportunities.
Well, she's come a long way.
She has.
And that's some of the things we're trying to show you what they do. Chuck is making a movie. I die in it. They put me on the floor.
Why are you spoiling it?
And I was on the floor for about 15 minutes. You know, when you die in the movies, it takes a long time to film it.
15 minutes is short.
That's short. I couldn't take it anymore.
We're going to do another thing, though.
I'm going to be on the floor again?
You're going to be on the floor again.
Again. Wow. So there's a lot of things that are going on in here. I hear there's a second horror flick.
Brianna did a horror film that we have
not seen it, and we're going to see if we can get a horror film going on in here as well. There's a lot of different pieces.
Did you watch CBS News this morning?
No.
CBS Morning?
No, we were
I was
on it?
watching it. No, we weren't on it, but what we do was on it. Because yesterday I was watching and it talked about the kids that are graduating to have a craft. And I talked about a craft being media, a craft being something that they can do, that they have ownership of, that they can actually take with them whatever job or whatever business that they decide to create. Today they talked about how hard it is to get into the workforce right out of college and to get your foot in, even if it's an internship. Get your foot in and get more experience, because getting out of school does not necessarily mean you're ready to get that job that you were looking for. So I thought, wow, yesterday they talked about a craft, which is hands-on, you're watching everyone work here in the studio. Today they said, take an internship, whether it's paid or not paid, get in the door to whatever it is that you want to do, and build your experience, build your network. And your network, they always say your network is your net worth. And this crew has a network, because everyone that they come in contact with is a network that maybe they know someone in DC or Maryland or wherever they want to go work. That's a phone call away that says, I worked with Dawn and Freddie, and it's an in. So don't ever underestimate that you may not be making the money that you want to right out of college, but don't underestimate the value of networking and all the skills in your own craft. I thought that was pretty amazing.
It is amazing. And last but not least, I want to congratulate Dawn and crew for getting us into the Boca newspaper, Boca Tribune. They came out, and again, I've been in Boca 23 years, and I've tried to get AMP on any newspaper. It never happened. But this last week, we were featured.
In Boca Tribune on Monday, which was really great.
That was really impressive, simply because it happened. And I never saw it coming. I remember you sent it to me when I was in Tampa, and I showed it to Gio, and Gio says, wow, talking about full circles. You know, when you start doing this at the very beginning, nobody knows who you are. Nobody, absolutely nobody, but the Tribune. And I hear that they're coming in to do...
Yeah, they're going to come in the next few weeks and do some video footage of what goes on in here.
Which is amazing, another amazing job, and that again is to the job that these guys do.
All right, let's want to take a break?
Sure.
What else you guys have coming up in the next edition?
This next edition, I'm not sure. I think we've just been really focused on the fundraiser and just spreading the word everywhere we can with that. So that has been in the front of my mind with everything we make. I'm just like, the first thing we got to do, put something about the fundraiser.
So we're going to spotlight Dana, because Dana is going to be the host of the event.
MC.
MC. So we can do a piece on Dana Sardano, and then Creeper Jr. is coming in tomorrow to film an episode, because they are one of our spotlight bands at the fundraiser as well. So
that's
they're
exciting.
Be pre-recording, and we're going to air that either after hours
or Parker and the other band too.
Yep. So we have a few things we
I
have to
got a
get
few
together.
friends of mine who want to come and play, but I don't know how you want to organize that.
So we'll figure that
I
out.
got to talk to the MC.
Yeah.
Okay.
The more
She's a
the
little intense.
merrier.
You feel the radiation of the heat.
No, I feel the peace. Look at her; she's so happy.
No, she's like.
I feel like all the angels are just laughing, trying to mess with me today. So thank you guys for that sense of humor. Yeah.
Awesome.
Wendy's like, yeah, I got it. Thank you. Well received. I keep laughing. All right, more to come. We're going to take a commercial break. When we come back, I don't know where the other two ladies are, but we're going to get set up for book club, because it's the 10 recommendments for personal empowerment, rec amendment number 4. Now, this is a heavy-duty chapter. I actually even sent Freddie something to read this morning on it. Fourth commandment, I shall not ignore my chakra health. So there's so many questions, like if you keep your chakras in line, will you physically and emotionally stay healthier? Yes. It's a whole nother level that I never even thought about.
So she's telling me that my chakra is out of line. That's why I have type 2 diabetes.
So I looked up what chakra would be diabetes, and it's your sacral chakra. So we're going to talk about all that today.
My sacral chakra.
How amazing. And then all the things that are in alignment up to it, and then after
everything going in it, everything coming out of it, and everything around it.
And then thyroid is your throat chakra and all the things. Oh, so many things to talk about. All right, more to come. We'll be right back.
Are you ready to stop playing small and step into your highest self? This isn't just a book club. It's a call to action. No fluff, no excuses, just growth. Actually, growth with some super cool people with a shared intention. Join us live at the Ubuntu Room on the Brooklyn Cafe Show Wednesdays at noon and become the greatest version of you. For more information, go to ubuntufishgallery.com. UBU, NTU, fishgallery.com.
Imagine this. A loved one, a son or a daughter, has just suffered from a life-threatening accident. They're transported to a state trauma hospital, and despite being in the care of professional physicians, they tragically pass away due to preventable medical errors. As if this was not tragic enough, then finding out that legal statutes in the state of Florida devalue your loved one's life to zero. This is what we are fighting against. Come join Edward Salazar as he discusses the issues surrounding free kill laws and how to resolve them. Catch The Fight Against Free Kill Laws with Ed Salazar on Monday, 5 p.m. on all social media. Learn who we are and join our cause today.
RCCA has a team of specialized therapists to treat a wide array of injuries and conditions, including balance issues, back pain, fall prevention techniques, joint replacements, and stroke rehab. Our therapists at RCCA help adults reclaim their strength and flexibility, allowing them to return to their hobbies and sports. We tailor treatment to return our patients to activities they love, such as croquet, gym workouts, golf, pickleball, and tennis. Our state-of-the-art equipment and therapists ensure that there is something here for everyone.
You've been watching the Brooklyn Cafe Show. Join us each day and after hours as we talk about the hot topics to open the conversations and share a few laughs. Now, back to Dawn and Freddie S.
The first nationwide Earth Day took place on April 22nd, 1970, in the United States, organized by Senator Gaylord Nielsen. It brought an estimated 20 million Americans into demonstrations, teach-ins, and community events focused on environmental protection. And it is widely considered the starting point of the modern environmental movement in the U.S. Nearly 50 years after the 20 million Americans took part in the first Earth Day on April 22nd, 1970, the observances have grown into a global event marked in more than 190 countries, reflecting how environmental awareness has expanded far beyond the U.S. origins. What began a nationwide response to visible pollution and environmental neglect helped spur major policy change in the United States, including the creation of the Environmental Protection Agency in the United States and landmark clean air and water legislation.
You have duty under your nails?
Oh my.
There's other stuff to contend with. Yeah. Anyway, we were just talking about one of our crew members.
Are we on?
Yes.
Oh my God!
Nobody told me nothing.
They counted down. You were having the discussion of me cleaning the toilet.
Did they hear our conversation?
Authentically speaking.
I was like, why are they on camera?
That's why I'm wearing blue. Because, yes, we clean the toilets here.
Oh, that's so awesome.
Oh, boy. I can't believe that.
Yes.
See how it says live in the corner?
Okay,
Yes.
thank you. You see how you have two different color shoes?
But maybe I'm connected here, but am I connected over there? I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't talk to me as we'll talk because I can't
What
hear
happened?
anyway.
You can't hear Dawn? It's good.
Oh, yeah.
That's
Yeah.
good, but you don't have
That was a
to-
gift. That was a little
you don't
gift
have
from
to
the
hear what she was
angels.
talking about.
Oh, come on. Oh, thank you.
And we're on.
And I'm on A4, so I am so authentically wearing blue. See, I'm so in touch with my throat chakras. I was reading it going, yes, I pretty much am in alignment. But we're going to talk 10 Recs, and it is a long chapter, Dana. Yeah. I know we're going to run your intro, but before we get into it, I did give Freddie a little background information. I feel like if Freddie and I ever went to school together, I would give him Cliff Note versions of my take on things. Yeah. Just so we could roll on it. So super cool that chakras can actually affect your physical and emotional health. So
now, is it the belief of, or is it an actual thing?
Oh, it's an actual thing. It's your energy.
But if I don't believe it, does it still affect me?
It still affects you.
All right. So we're going to talk about 10 Recommandments. What happened to Heather? Of Personal Empowerment by Dana Sardano. She was sitting where you are. Did you eat her?
Am I
Sit on her? Is she under the chair? What happened? Well, I was on commercial break.
Here.
What happened to Heather?
Yeah, we need.
Am I supposed
back?
to sit over there? No, you're good there. She said Heather's supposed to sit here.
I don't know. I was talking to Robert. I was talking to Alfonso. I sit down. Heather's gone, and my mic doesn't work. You talk gremlins, Wendy? That's a whole nother conversation.
Heather was never sitting here.
All right. 4th recommendment. I shall not ignore my chakras' health. So let's roll Dana's intro.
This segment has been sponsored by the Ubuntu Room. Come join Dana Sardano as she offers life-changing advice that will affect the spiritual, emotional, and physical aspects of your being. Within her easily available writings, you will find the solution you need for your problems. Tune in to the Ubuntu Room on the Brooklyn Cafe Show.
Hi, my name is Dana Sardano, and this is the Ubuntu Room. I am so glad you're here. Thank you for joining me. This has been something. So, today we are talking about the chakra health. 4th recommandment in book club, I shall not ignore my chakra health. 1st recommandment, I shall not claim victimhood. 2nd recommandment, I shall not become entrenched in my emotions. 3rd recommandment, I shall not apply irrational beliefs and toxic behavioral patterns to my life experience. The reason that's important is because they all build on one another, and the 4th recommendment is the deep dive, because when we look at our chakras in the layers and the aspects of self that correlate with our chakras, we could have a real deep understanding of ourselves. But before we continue, or before we start the chakra conversation, I do want to bring something up that we talked about last week, and it really kind of has been floating around in my head all week, and I want to shine the light on it a little bit because I think it's important. So I know Heather brought it up, I know Dawn brought it up, I'm pretty sure that Freddie chimed in, and there was a general consensus that the changes that we have to make our lives better are challenging. And there's a fear involved in looking at the things that we don't want to look at. And I thought about that. I'm like, what would make somebody want to look at it if their lives aren't really that bad? Why would they want to, again, make the effort? And it got me thinking about how you don't know what you don't know until you know it. Okay, so I'm gonna share a little bit with you. So it got me thinking about when I was single. I didn't get married till I was in my early 40s. So I was single all through my 30s, all through my 20s, dating here and there. And I would meet these guys, and there'd be red flags all over the place, and of course I would be dodging and ignoring. But I would talk to my friends, maybe this is the one. And they're like, no. When it's the one, you know. And I'm like, how do I know? How do you know? If you don't know, how do you know? And that's how I think about not wanting to change things for fear, because if you don't know how good they could get, what would be the carrot? What would inspire you to make those changes? Then it got me thinking, and sit tight for this one.
I actually made a video on social media the other day, and it's kind of ridiculous, but I'm going to share it anyway. Last week, I got my period. That's right. Trying to see if Freddie's paying attention. All of a sudden, he's like, you got your what? Last week, I got my period. In a month, I'm going to be 55 years old. So I wasn't expecting it. Because you get to this age, you get a couple, you don't get a couple, it's a crime scene, it disappears. So you're not really expecting it. But it came, I know, you guys are probably like, what the hell is she doing? But just stick with me for a second. It came with all the things that come with the period, like the weight of the world is crushing around me, and I'm annoyed by everything, and I'm ready to blow up everything in my life and get a divorce and cut off all my friends. Like, it came with that. But when I got my period, I was like, oh, that. And then it got me thinking about, in my youth, all of the things that I blew up in my life because I had these hormonal imbalances and didn't really realize what it was until I started recognizing the pattern. Oh, when I'm about to get my period, I'm about to quit my job, or I'm fighting with my husband, or his breathing is super annoying, or whatever it is. And so when I start to get edgy, I stop myself, look at a calendar, and with that awareness, maybe I could gain a little bit of objectivity. Maybe I could blow fewer things up in my life. Maybe I could affect some change in my life with that awareness. But it doesn't just come with the awareness, because I could say, oh, I'm hormonal, and then act the fool. But it's the willingness to do something about it that helps affect those changes. So why am I talking about this, you ask, Freddie? I could feel you boring holes through the side of my head staring at me. Because that experience alone helped me understand that when I recognize the patterns of my existence, even if I don't understand what comes from those changes, I do know that I want things to be a little bit better, and I have to look at them and do something about it to make them better. And that is what we're doing here. And that is my response to last week's conversation. Now, this week, chakras is the deep dive, because what we do is we look at the aspects of ourselves depending on those energy centers and how they affect us, like Dawn said, on a physical level, and on an emotional level, and just on a logistical level in our lives. So with that said, let's talk chakras. Freddie, I'm so intense.
Why?
I even looked that up, by the way, menopause and chakras, and of course it takes you where it needs to take you.
Yeah.
It's one of those things that you can't really heal because you got to go through it, because we all go through it. There's some physical things that we have to go through in life. Like, like menopause and puberty and all those things.
Yeah.
You can't change that with chakra health, but maybe you can get through it a little easier. I don't know. Imagine knowing when you're 13 that you could get your root chakra in line, and I don't know if it wouldn't change that or not.
Yeah, I don't think it obviously doesn't change what's happening to us in our lives, but how we respond to it. You know what I mean? And that's the only point I was trying to make. When we shift our beliefs, when we really look at the patterns that we're creating. But the thing with the chakras, Freddie, before I forget, I just want to mention there's a book written by Louise Hay called You Can Heal Your Life. And she talks about all the physical manifestations that come from, I attribute it to chakras because it's easy, because you could color code them and put them in these little categories, but just things, if you carry anger, what that looks like as a physical malady. You know, if you carry grief, what that could look like in a physical malady. And I thought, I have the book, and I have two of them because remember I lost the one and you gave me the other one. Anyway, I was thinking of bringing it to you, but I don't want to be presumptuous. But now that we're talking about it, I'm going to bring you my copy. I think it'll help you.
You know, I've known you, 6-7 months now? And 6 or 7 months ago, and then the last week, I could not put my finger on it. And all of a sudden, what a difference going through something like that is. The whole anatomy and the way of thinking, and it energizes you, maybe to overcome whatever. You are on a different level today. I'm totally serious.
Oh, because of my menses? Yeah. Because I shed the layer of my uterus?
No, I think it's because we cleaned the studio yesterday.
No, it was her menses.
It attracts bears.
You know,
There's like a scary, I don't know, there's like something else. Maybe it is. I don't know.
Maybe the energy is
over
clear here today.
Yeah. Wow.
If I could add a little something. When you mentioned
You got it too?
No. I am going to be 55, and when she said her story, I was like, yeah, no, not for me, not for me. I'm good, thank you. So I want to add a little something to that, because we're talking about chakra health, obviously, and I believe that while we're clearing out and doing these things, there's a potential that maybe something in your root chakra had to be cleared out.
Or the sacral.
Or the sacral, absolutely. So this could be a way that, we're talking about as we up level or we shift gears, as you're mentioning, Freddie, there's a level of, if there's any density left in any of the chakras, they're going to show up some way, shape, or form. And when we talk about menses in a younger child or any of these things, they may not have the same type of stuff that we're dealing with in our older life. But if you subscribe to We Come Back, that could be leftover stuff that has to be healed
from other lives.
Yeah.
So she's mensing because she's dechakrary?
And she.
Well,
could
how
be
do I
releasing-
dechakra? I can't mense.
Yeah. Wait. Let me just clarify.
I mean, this is like a faucet.
I want to just clarify something that Wendy was saying, or just give a deeper understanding to what Wendy was saying. As the frequency of this planet rises, right? We all understand that the frequency is elevating. Yes. We as humans are elevating also, but it's not just our social, emotional leveling up, like where we overcome something and we level up. Our physical bodies are leveling up. So whatever dense energy has been trapped in our tissues has to come to the surface. I have been noticing over the last week, I have crazy RA symptoms. I put RA to rest 10 years ago. I have crazy RA symptoms, could barely get out of bed, my feet, my knees. I get a period out of nowhere. My elbow hurts. Throat chakra. I thought I was getting strep throat a couple days ago. What I'm realizing is, as my body is acclimating its frequency to equal out with what's going on in the world, but also my emotional frequency, if that makes sense, that old stuff has to come to the surface and be released. So if I didn't know any better, I would think that, oh my God, I'm regressing, but I'm not. It's like you have to get past that stuff to release it to continue. So it's kind of good news?
Yes.
And next week you'll be pregnant. I'm going to say it.
Oh my God, bite your tongue.
I'm just glad I got those here for you, because you got a whole lot of root chakra stuff going on over here,
He's
Freddie.
looking at me, I'm looking at him. We're like, what?
But this makes sense to you, doesn't it?
Yes, as a matter of fact, 'cause I had a hysterectomy in October, and it cleared out so much stuff that they're telling me, like, oh, now you can be like the Mother Earth. So you can be like everybody's mother, and you're just not like physical the mother.
Check.
You are the overall overseer of motherhood. Remember that butter commercial? Thank you, Mother Nature.
Yeah.
I think I am now elevating to the overall watcher of mothers.
Yeah.
The mother of all mothers.
Yep.
That's an insult where I'm from. You're the mother of all mothers.
You're a mother.
That makes sense. Kind of like the overseeing mother of so many things. Once I had all that root stuff cleaned out.
The density, you surgically removed the dense tissue, the dense energy. That is a thing.
And all that worry and all that fear of what women think about could potentially happen, it's gone.
So you don't have a faucet.
I've got no faucet.
You're in a faucet. You can't, get rid of it that way. You have to find another way.
That's how you get rid of it.
He's so eloquent.
Maybe some earwax.
But then I was thinking about different physical manifestations.
Yes.
Thyroid disease,
Yep.
throat chakra. Who knew?
Thyroid disease,
Yep,
thyroid
same.
cancer. It's all the stifling
and I
of the
was
throat chakra.
very stifled.
But what does it mean to be stifled?
To be stifled was when you have a way of looking at things, or when I would speak up for certain things, I wasn't allowed to express myself. I would tell my mom or my parents, that mostly my mom, that was my contentious side, but I want to play soccer, or I want to be part of a talent show. It somehow was always, why are you making so much noise? Why do you want to do this thing? You can't do this, and you can't say that. If I could speak up and say something, I would be punished for it, or I'd be run around with a belt, the old-fashioned belt that was there as.
So it's speaking up?
Was speaking
is that what
up.
it is?
I
Speaking
didn't
up,
have
speaking
trouble.
out?
I had trouble speaking up for myself.
Or saying what's on your mind?
Yes.
Is that what?
Yeah, it was always a hostile environment for me to speak what was on
And
my
is
mind.
it always a hostile environment?
Not now.
What if you're shy? Were you shy as a little?
I was.
But the
She
throat
was.
chakra is about living in your truth, speaking your truth, living authentically, proper communication, expression. It's all about that. So it could look in being super shy. It could look being abused for having opinions. In mine, no matter what I did, anytime I showed an expression of myself, it was crapped on.
Yeah.
It was either, Dana. Oh, Dana. Or if my brother was doing something terrible to me and I would like be upset about it, I would get in trouble. And the exact words were, well, you're the one making all the noise. So there's this stifling in all these different ways that affect, and women are typically stifled because of the nature of being women. That's just the way
But
it
you
is.
were never stifled.
Are you? You didn't read.
I look at you.
You didn't read.
No, I understand what you wrote, but I'm talking about this different types of stifle.
Yeah.
There's that you want other people to hear what you have to say.
Yeah.
Or you just say what you need to say.
Yeah.
And you say what you need to say.
I used to with consequence. I'm the other side. That's what you're not understanding.
Oh, with
what you're seeing
consequence.
here is the other side of healing. Hence the books.
Right, so I'm reading all the things. Is this your belief system? Do you feel that? It goes through all the things. And I'm like, no, which means I'm in alignment now, but I was not always in alignment. I may not be in alignment now, but I really was, because I had oldest daughter syndrome. I think I still do, of I was always the people pleaser, and you had to make sure mom and dad were happy because there should never be a conflict in the house. And because my sister always was the conflicting one.
Think about all this?
Yeah, but you're not responsible for other people's wellness. You
think about this
Right.
piece.
Right. It was. I'm always was and am still the peacemaker with my family.
Yes.
Not here. Well, here a little bit too. If you're
I
a
don't
little
think it's a peacemaker. I think that's a bad definition.
Why?
Because I think they come to you as the sound of reason.
That's now.
You got one. Well, it's
But
always
as-
been
but
that
as a
way.
kid-
because it was out of balance.
As
Now
a
it's
kid, it
balanced.
was the peacemaker. It was, let's make sure dad's not upset because my sister did something, or my mother's not throwing chicken across the house because my sister did something. So it's
Right. She was always in left field.
so I would always, I was in my room, I was quiet, or I was doing my homework, or out with the boyfriend. I was always someplace that I was not
the
speaking
troublemaker.
anything. Right.
Not being the troublemaker.
But now I know what my role was then. It wasn't my role. I just took that role on as the oldest daughter.
Wow.
Yep.
I'm
Yep.
shocked.
Yep. I'm the oldest daughter as well. I'm the oldest one. So it was for me, I would hear, you should know better. You're in trouble because you're the oldest one and you should know better. Even though when I had.
You didn't know
just like-
nothing.
yeah. Yeah, there were times that it was, but.
Did you have siblings?
I had an older brother.
And who was the troublemaker, you or him?
It depends on who you asked, but
Who, I'm asking you.
I was the mouthier one, so I got a lot of heat. I believe that my brother, however he was feeling, because it was a dysfunctional environment, he took it out on me.
He was the golden child.
He was the golden child, but it was still dysfunctional. He was still unhappy. But he took it out on me. And he was allowed. So there was definitely a pecking order. But if you asked anybody, who was the problem, I was the problem because I was trying to speak my truth and live authentically and be who I was.
The black sheep.
And I was the black sheep, and nobody wanted to hear what I had to say. And then I got thyroid cancer at 25. Fast forward.
Wow.
Right, so the thyroid thing makes a lot of sense.
Yes.
But then I started thinking, not picking on you, but diabetes shows up in people, and then I thought, well, why? Where does that? So I literally had to look up like where the pancreas is, where the liver is. So they're talking sacral chakra. So then, not that it's any of my business, but if you go back and you look through your childhood, were any of these, and I'm going to let Dana go through the chakras, affected you maybe that led to difference of how you ate? Was it overeating? Was it undereating? Was it just grabbing food, emotional eating? Like, did that
Looking for sweetness in life.
change it? And you may say, no, absolutely not. My life is perfectly aligned.
There must have been some of that. There must have been, I took a lot of tetracycline because I had bad skin, and that destroyed. They didn't know back then it destroyed your intestines. But there was a lot. There was always the nerves and trying to live up to being the good kid. Because my brother was the black sheep, or he thought he was anyway. My brother died of colon cancer. No, he died of a heart attack. He had colon cancer. And so you're saying all these things, and again, you're bringing all these flashbacks again. But I never, it must
It's
be
not
me.
that we think about them consciously. They just run unconsciously till you're conscious of it. And then you can say, oh, okay, so maybe there is something here. But, there's many people who go on automatic pilot and they never look at it. And some people, they're just, I know a few people in my own life that they have all these chronic illnesses, and it's because they don't want to look at it. They don't want to look at it. They don't want to look at it. Not even this much.
Yeah.
So it's denial, it's putting up a wall, and what you do is you concretize that illness and it shows up as a chronic
But the
illness.
importance of what you guys are going over with is that's how we raise our kids, based on the misbelief of thinking that we know what we're doing when we don't.
Yeah. It's
So
our
I'm
little
sitting here
gift to
saying,
the next generation.
how much did I screw up my kids?
So we're trying to take accountability, and when we talk about taking accountability, it's taking accountability where we've kind of goofed up and then trying to give our kids better. I have my one son, and I tell him all the time, I look back at things that I thought I had done good. My sister says this, I thought I was a good mom, and now I hear my kids that are now in their 20s, and they're saying, Mom, you did the best you could, but here and here.
Wow.
So she's kind of like, oh, now I got to look at that too. So we're still trying to, level up or do better than what was done with us. And we're doing it now. Like I said, I'm going to be 55. I wish I would have had this in my 20s. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's an evolution, though.
It is.
It's an evolution. When you look back at the generations, I'm sorry? I didn't hear what you
No,
said.
I'm not in my 20s.
Can you relate to this? I see you nodding your head a lot.
I'm waiting to ask a question.
Please.
So it's about the surgery thing, because Dawn, you mentioned you had surgery, and it kind of cleared up some of the chakra issues. And because I had my root chakra, I think all my chakras are because of my root chakra, because I had a I was in a car accident when I was a kid, and my dad died, and so I had all these issues, and then last year I had a hip replacement that really improved things, and so my question is, can just a surgery actually help your chakra? Is that?
It's possible, yes.
Yeah, and you know what I was thinking when you guys were talking about just the chakra energy? There are so many components. You mentioned you took medication.
Yeah,
and so it's more than one thing that are affecting it. We're just talking about the energy centers, but I do believe that the density of the energy, Rob and I always joke about, it's in the bone. There's a line from Ace Ventura when he gets shot in the eye, it's in the bone. And so it's so deep within there. So if you have a surgery that replaced the density of the fear and trauma, right? That hip replacement is a result of childhood trauma from this accident, right? That is built on with every year. So you've removed a huge part of that dense energy. So that's awesome. But then there's the other layers of what kind of emotional effect that has not yet been worked through. Yes, you lost your father. With permission? Yes, you lost your father, and you do understand as an adult that it was an accident, but is there blame? Is there abandonment?
Absolutely.
And that's
I totally
my point.
blame him. I'm so angry at him for leaving me as a child, but it was a car accident. It was
Yeah.
nobody's fault.
So,
It
but
was the other people's fault.
look at what we're saying here. The childhood's belief, and I do that all the time in the book. The childhood belief is, I blame him. He left me. Irrational. Completely irrational. The adult's understanding is, it was a car accident, it was somebody else's fault. So you have to figure out, and that's the work. That is the work that I speak of. Taking the adult's brain, the adult's rational brain. It makes sense. It was an accident. It was somebody else's fault. My father was a victim of this, and I was as well. But my daddy left me, and he was supposed to protect me, and he was supposed to be there. And you have to figure out a way, and it's different for everybody, even though there's a pattern or a formula, to go back to that child and have that child understand what the adult understands. And that is the healing of the energy, of the emotionality, of the leveling up stuff. The physical, you're getting rid of the density of it. Now, my purging, my menses at 55, my purging, my RA symptoms out of nowhere is the bringing up of the deep, deep density of whatever I carried physically and releasing it.
It's an eruption.
So how do I get, I feel like I'm just missing that little piece to really get the little girl to understand that adult. I feel like there's still a little
There's
bit
a disconnect.
I think I made improvement because I've done so much therapy and trying to resolve stuff and I've done great. I've come a long way, and I feel like the surgery brought me next level, and I'm almost there, but my root chakra, it still feels like she doesn't quite get it, and I don't know how to get the last
layers.
part.
It's layers. What you did this weekend, you had a healing session this weekend, is another layer. Giving yourself moments of quiet, having realizations, something will come up for you and you'll go, oh my God, I still hold
Connect
that.
the dots.
And then you forgive yourself You forgive yourself for still feeling that way. You nurture that little girl. This is all mental, obviously. You nurture that little girl and you let it go until the next layer. You know how I joke that I forgave my father once, my mother 51 times and counting, because it took me that many times to really embody true forgiveness. So be gentle with yourself.
Yes.
Give yourself a break, and you're doing the work and you're receptive, and just let it go and allow it to
peel back in layers.
There it is.
But does she know how to be gentle with herself?
She's got to learn.
We learn that. It's a learning
Sometimes we want pain to feel, and we replace the pain with gentle. Do you understand what gentle means to you? Because
I'm working on it.
You're learning it.
Yeah.
You got to learn the difference between pain and gentle, because sometimes you hurt yourself thinking that that's a feeling.
Right.
And it's all you know.
And that's all you know.
1000%.
And you have to sort of look at this thing as a grown-up and then talk to yourself and redeem yourself as a child. So it's a balance.
I would
merging
say,
the two.
Yes, it is merging the two. And I would say it's kind of like, I say this all the time, you wouldn't give the keys to a drunk driver, right? So why would you give the keys to an irrational thought or that child?
That's just I'm gonna start crying. It was drunk drivers. That's what happened.
Oh my Lord,
It's just so crazy that you said that.
Wow, that's crazy. That's how I feel it. Like when my mom is in her moment, she's got dementia now. So there are moments that she wants to control money and stuff, and we're trying to get her to understand that she's got to relinquish control. My mom does not relinquish control well. So I tell my dad, are you gonna let mom drive the car? She's the equivalent of the drunk driver. Let alone she doesn't drive anyways. But so why in that case anyways are you going to let her? So we've got to see how we dial back. So you get to a space where it's a rational thought or irrational. So having that baby or your inner child say, I'm feeling something. Okay, let me sit with you. But again, you wouldn't give a toddler, if you've got to redirect that, you wouldn't give the toddler the keys, and you're not going to let the toddler continue to have a temper tantrum. You're going to redirect them. So it's not in denial, it's accepting it, but at the same time knowing, okay, now let's take the rational seat and let the person who's the rational, grounded person take over. That's your higher self instead of the child. I understand the child is there to bring attention to something, but then that's where you say, all right, now I got
at
you.
least now she knows that there is choice, right? That you can repair this, that it isn't a whirlwind that has no light at the end of the tunnel.
It's not an abyss.
No, and that's the point that I was making with my ridiculous story about when I understood in my youth that these were symptoms of a hormonal imbalance and was able to recognize it before it got out of hand and utilized my understanding, my awareness of it to make different decisions and not. I broke up with a boyfriend when I was like 23, and then when I tried to get back with him, he was like, "Nah, I think you were right," and I was devastated. But I only did it because I had PMS. And so when I learned, so the consequence was great enough that I was like, oh, I'm not gonna do that again. And so I was willing to recognize the symptoms of imbalance, recognize the pattern of behavior because of imbalance, get ahead of it, and then restructure my behavior. Restructure my patterns, and that's all you're doing.
That's it.
And so it doesn't. Every period doesn't have to be where you're packing your stuff and you're moving out. It's like, oh, okay, I hate the way he breathes, but it's because it's me. You know what I mean?
You are touching.
I'm a little too close to home. Rob, I love you, man, but you breathe. It's a little loud.
And you're touching so many people in the studio.
Right?
Yeah. Right?
Because we're all the same. It just looks a little different, but we're all the same. So you had this very, very, very tragic thing. Very tragic. To call it a thing is diminutive. Diminutive.
Yep.
Diminutive. I'm making it small, and I don't mean to make it small. God, I'm so intense. But
I'm looking at Sydney over there, and I'm pointing at Sydney because Sydney, when she first came to us here, was going through this emotional stuff. Now, this is something that Dawn has to talk to them about and everything else. But in this cave in here, they all get these things all at the same time. It's like an alarm
they
clock.
sync up.
Oh my God! And every guy, half the intern males I have left. Because every guy comes in, they're scared of the women. They're different people.
But they
That's
have to learn.
hilarious.
They have to learn that it's not an excuse to behave a certain way. And again, it's not all of this. We all have a story. It's not an excuse to let it dictate our existence. What it is it's giving us information for an awareness. Okay, so my situation is this. Oh, so I have to do this to fix it. Your situation is this. Her situation is this. It's the awareness and the willingness. And that's why I open with this, because I think too many of us are, even if there is an awareness, we use that as a crutch. And you're not doing that. And that's why I admire you, because you are open and taking the steps to try to improve your life and rid yourself of what burdens you. And if more people were as open as you are, this world would look a lot different. I really admire you, Max. And it's not just because your shoes don't match. It's because you want better for yourself.
It's the devil and the angel, her shoes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Actually, it is because your shoes don't match.
Yeah.
That's what makes you so freaking different.
Yep.
Yeah.
You're showing up.
You're showing up.
Authentically showing up.
I just worry about myself because it's like what Freddie said. It's not that I like to suffer. I'm just really good at suffering. I have really high pain
all you
threshold.
know.
So, I mean, like that worries, I can suffer a lot. And because sometimes that's a motivator for change. But I don't know. I can handle a lot of stuff. And so is there a way to maybe not suffer?
I think you got to change your beliefs.
All right, we're going to take a commercial break. Hold on to that.
Okay.
Hold on to how can we restructure our belief system and actually heal once we've identified that maybe it's our chakra. We know we need to do the work. What is the work that we need to do? More to come, and we'll be right back.
Finding the world's best coffee. Nothing can stop Don Pablo from getting you the rarest coffees, traveling across continents, climbing the highest mountains, overcoming immense obstacles, all for the quest of greatness. Experience this excitement with every sip.
Discover Rosie's Garden. The collection draws inspiration from the beautiful niece of the founder, Rosie, who brought joy to many before passing too soon. Her beauty and spirit are reflected in every piece. Founded by two friends, Rosie's Garden is a female-owned brand passionate about creating stunning, elegant jewelry that embodies the concept of bellissima, the Italian word for beautiful. With a philosophy rooted in grace and elegance, the brand crafts each piece of jewelry using only the finest materials, including 18-karat gold and the highest quality craftsmanship, ensuring that every piece is a true work of art.
Looking for a night out that actually gives back? AMP Media Futures Foundation presents Caps Off for a Cause. Join us at Crazy Uncle Mike's. Enjoy drinks, light bites, live entertainment, and real connection. May 12th, 5 to 7:30 p.m. Tickets are just $36 donation. Spots are limited, so grab yours now. Sponsor opportunities are available.
Looking for music that brings back the memories? True Oldies FLA is South Florida's premier destination for timeless hits from the 1960s, 70s, and 80s. Brought to you by M2 TV Network. Broadcasting across multiple FM and HD stations, including 95.3 FM in Delray Beach and Boca Raton, 95.9 FM in Palm Beach County, 96.9 FM in Broward County and North Miami-Dade, and 106.9 FM on the Treasure Coast. True Oldies, FLA. Feel good music that spans generations.
You're listening to the Midday Brooklyn Cafe Show with Dawn and Freddie S. Every weekday from 12 to 2, tune in for the ultimate midday escape. The perfect blend of entertainment, culture, and community, all served up with a side of Brooklyn flair. It's the South Florida show that everyone's talking about.
You've been watching the Brooklyn Cafe Show. Join us each day and after hours as we talk about the hot topics to open the conversations and share a few laughs. Now, back to Dawn and Freddie S.
All right, we're back. You know, it's funny. My sister used to say to me, and my brother, I am on my monthly, and this is a public service announcement. And here is your warning. You pass this line, you're going to get beat up. So take that into consideration when you talk to me for the next 2 weeks. And we used to say, But you just had one. And again, you're crossing the line. Oh, I never forget Mimi. She used to warn us. So women should warn men.
It's not all about that, but now listening to Max's story, you know how I always tease Max that she's 13 going on 30? She's a kid at heart. You were a perpetual child, but now I understand why. Because you were holding on to your childhood, which is great. And it's great that you can manifest it and be authentically who you are, which is amazing.
Yeah.
Now you just got to heal some of the pain that goes with it while you stay authentically who you are.
1,000%.
Yeah.
Heather,
That's confusing.
No, but
I got Heather and Sydney here. I feel like if you guys want to pipe in, just pipe in.
Do
She's
you
like,
want to
what?
pipe
Huh?
into your child self you?
You're not piping in.
She's
Okay.
not child self.
Okay, you keep doing your
And
thing.
what about Sydney?
I don't have any thoughts yet.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, so if we identify, because I've told this story before, when I first started working with Freddie, I was in my late 40s, and apparently I was in perimenopause, didn't even know that existed. No one told me anything, and I got really, really sick. I got really, really skinny, but really, really sick. Didn't know. And we met our first connection with, I had her in a past lifetime, and she's a holistic chef, for lack of a better term. She lives on the other side of Florida, and she says to me one day, you need to eat yellow food. And I said, what? And I had been through every test and every doctor for years, and I just felt awful all the time. And she said, it's your sacral chakra, you need yellow foods. And I'm like, what are you talking about? So she sends me this recipe, and it's with pears and butternut squash and a few other ingredients. Like even I, who don't cook, 5 ingredients or less. I made the soup, and I went home. I literally took a bite of soup. 10 minutes later, my stomach pain was gone. I had been sick for 2.5 to 3 years on every medication, every antacid, every prescription you could think of. Nothing was helping me other than I would just lay in bed sick and go to work and go back to bed. And everyone laughed at me. How could this soup help? This soup for me, so you come in and you talk about chakras. It is like my go-to medicine. If I don't feel well, I make a batch of soup, I freeze it, and I always have this pear and butternut squash soup. It looks like baby food, but for me it works.
And I never knew until right now, this whole story about how sick she was. Until right now. I know about the squash soup because she wasn't feeling well. But I never knew that for 3 years she was walking around with this gorilla on her at all. And Dawn's a type. Now I understand about not speaking up.
Yeah.
She never says anything. She could stand there with a hose as the building's on fire, look at you and says, can you help me? When the building's already gone. She doesn't step in, never told me, you never told me this story. When we were at iHeart, it's when the lady came in with the squash. I remember that. I remember her. But you never said anything.
But I feel like she was this angel. We don't really talk to her much anymore.
No,
she came in with this recipe. She sent it over, and intuitive chef is what she was, right? The intuitive chef. But who even knew? And that was 10 years ago.
It's amazing.
It is amazing.
So, like, I think about, and I want to say to Max, eat red food, because, but I don't know if it would be the same power.
I'll tell you.
Yes, it would be.
It would. It actually, in my Veda cards, a lot of them are like eat orange foods and eat purple food. But or I had the Chakra Khan at the gallery, and I had all the different chakra foods. But I want to answer, if it's okay with everybody, I want to answer your question, Max, about you said you're used to suffering and you're like good at it. And I really want you to take the time. You don't have to do it here and now, but examine your belief around it. Because when you were talking about it, I was thinking about, I used to carry the belief back in the day that like I wanted people to know how powerful I was, that I was able to overcome, that there was nobility in my suffering and there was strength in that. But think about that belief. Right? Suffering is something, there's a nobility in that suffering. And the strength I'm proud of. But my life, all of my life experiences perpetuated that belief and pattern. So things were always difficult. Things were always tough. So there's a pride in your sense of your ability to suffer. But just because you can doesn't mean you should. right? So I want you to think about, what is it? Like, again, that's the peeling back the onion. Why do I think that? Where does that come from? What is the root of that belief? You already know the answers to these things. And then reshift your belief. You know, and a perfect restructuring is, just because I'm able to suffer doesn't mean I should. What do I want? I want to enjoy life. I want to ease the suffering. How do I do that? What is keeping me from doing that? And then focus in on that, and you will find that's the restructuring of your beliefs. There's no nobility in suffering.
That's so interesting, because some people say it's my calling to suffer. Or it's my calling to, it's okay, that'll be fine, they're going to change. They're not going to change, they're 85 years old. They're not going to change. So it's interesting, like, you giving people, you have to give yourself, I guess, the permission, the power to say, this is not working for me, I'm going to change. Look, the doors are closed. Just saying.
Oh, that's so funny.
Oh, excuse me. Holy crap.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Thanks for playing, yes. Look at her face, she's like, what? But so many people walk around with those beliefs of, this is my job to be the oldest daughter, the one to take responsibilities, the whatever story we tell the child at heart forever. And go, yeah, you know what? We can change. I don't have to keep doing that, because I did this last night. I said something and he goes, and you know about that? So I looked it up. I said, and where's that apology? He gives me a fist. I go, what's that? A fist bump. I go, for what? I said, what, can't you just say you're sorry because you were wrong?
1,000%.
Never got it. He goes, well, that's what the fist bump was. I'm like, no, that was a fist bump. That was not an apology. But like, the younger me would have never said that.
Yep. And it's
ever.
not the right
I might have muttered something under my breath, like, your breathing is just annoying me.
You're like having a parade.
But, right?
No,
so now I can
and
speak
it's about you. Like, this is about your ability
It's
to
a
speak
boundary.
up. Is about you now. What they do with it, that's on them.
But
and
everybody else can, once you recognize it.
1,000%.
Yeah. It's really something.
I'm on a parade.
It's a superpower.
Fist bump.
Yeah.
It's a superpower, honestly speaking, because when you're able to arrive at this space, you're no longer a victim to anybody. You're not a victim to yourself.
Rec
you
one.
know? Yeah, exactly. There's a sense of liberation and freedom.
Yes.
And that's all it is. You meet people where they're at. You don't have an expectation of where that person should be. You just meet them where they're at. But this is more about, well, meeting yourself where you're at. And if you're not happy with where you're at, you make the adjustments.
It's simple.
Yeah.
It's difficult because you have to do the work, but the formula is really pretty clear. What do I want? Okay, how do I get there? What am I doing that's keeping me from getting there? Okay, stop doing that.
Let me ask you a question. If you're in a bad relationship and you think the relationship is the only way for you to heal is to get out, but maybe you can just have a conversation and change the way you deliver your authentic self.
Yeah.
And they either hop on the bandwagon or they don't.
There's a card in the Soul Traveler Cards of Empowerment that Anne-Marie and I created together, and it's called In Tandem. And it talks about, you are not responsible, I'm butchering it, but you are not responsible for anybody else's evolution but your own. And you can share your enlightenment, you can share your growth with another, and perhaps you can grow in tandem. But if they choose not to connect with you, if they choose not to grow with you, then you owe it to yourself to continue your growth. And that was actually my situation last summer with my business partner. I had to, for me, step, because there was no more growing in tandem. You know what I mean? So if you're no longer in alignment, you could bring it to this person, but if they're not willing to meet you there, then you have to ask yourself, what do I value here? Do I value myself, or my value of the belief that I have an obligation to that relationship? So that's up to you.
So many things. All right, what is in Rec 5?
Okay, so Rec 5 is, I'm just guessing, but I shall not settle for anything less than my general contentment. And that it's about really understanding that our baseline is all about being happy, being content. We come into this world to be in this place of enjoyment, content, I'm interchanging the words, and it's the things in our lives that create our beliefs and patterns that mess with that. So it's how to bring ourselves back to that baseline. So that's next week, Rec 5, get your book.
Where did they get it?
UbuNtuFishGallery.com, UBUNTU, fishgallery.com. It's not too late to join us because each recommendment is its own, it's independent of itself. So join us because this is good stuff.
It
I
really
mean, Max,
is.
his whole life has changed.
All right, we're gonna
Bring your questions with you when you read the book, and then come and join us.
Yeah.
Next Wednesday, we're going to take a quick break. We come back. We've got Dawn DeMarco Book, now that she's got her shoes on, host of Faith Stories.
And they're fabulous.
They are
I
fabulous.
thought she was wearing two different shoes.
She had to take a deep breath. They're amazing. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll find out who her guest is starting today at 3 o'clock. We'll be right back.
Finding the world's best coffee. Nothing can stop Don Pablo from getting you the rarest coffees. Traveling across continents, climbing the highest mountains, overcoming immense obstacles, all for the quest of greatness. Experience this excitement with every sip.
Discover Rosie's Garden. The collection draws inspiration from the beautiful niece of the founder, Rosie, who brought joy to many before passing too soon. Her beauty and spirit are reflected in every piece. Founded by two friends, Rosie's Garden is a female-owned brand passionate about creating stunning, elegant jewelry that embodies the concept of bellissima, the Italian word for beautiful. With a philosophy rooted in grace and elegance, the brand crafts each piece of jewelry using only the finest materials, including 18-karat gold and the highest quality craftsmanship, ensuring that every piece is a true work of art.
Looking for a night out that actually gives back? AMP Media Futures Foundation presents Caps Off for a Cause. Join us at Crazy Uncle Mike's. Enjoy drinks, light bites, live entertainment, and real connection. May 12th, 5 to 7:30 p.m. Tickets are just $36 donation. Spots are limited, so grab yours now. Sponsor opportunities are available.
Looking for music that brings back the memories? True Oldies FLA is South Florida's premier destination for timeless hits from the 1960s, 70s, and 80s. Brought to you by AM2 TV Network. Broadcasting across multiple FM and HD stations, including 95.3 FM in Delray Beach and Boca Raton, 95.9 FM in Palm Beach County, 96.9 FM in Broward County and North Miami-Dade, and 106.9 FM on the Treasure Coast. True Oldies, FLA. Feel good music that spans generations.
You're listening to the Midday Brooklyn Cafe Show with Dawn and Freddie S. Every weekday from 12 to 2, tune in for the ultimate midday escape. The perfect blend of entertainment, culture, and community, all served up with a side of Brooklyn flair. It's the South Florida show that everyone's talking about.
You've been watching the Brooklyn Cafe Show. Join us each day and after hours as we talk about the hot topics to open the conversations and share a few laughs. Now, back to Dawn and Freddie S.
Hey, we're back. All the bells and whistles.
Lots of stuff going on. All right, so what we're talking to Dana, my very good friend Dawn DeMarco Book, was getting ready for Faith Stories, and if only you could see her shoe collection. You all
I
think
thought
my
she was
shoes?
doing a handstand.
She was like,
I said, what the hell?
I don't know, like I would have held my breath that whole time. And then she's down there, she's putting her shoes on, she goes, and the hair goes back, and it's a whole thing. But man, are they worth it? Those shoes are unbelievable.
I know, but they're like come in in sneakers and then sit down.
Those are totally sit-down shoes.
Yeah, because they're like 4-inch. Not right now,
'Cause she's
but
sitting.
you know, if you stand,
They hurt me.
I know, but they're so gorgeous, you guys. I would put my foot up, but I think it's a little bit too high. And yeah, trust me, they're gorgeous.
They're gorgeous. All right, who's your guest today?
Today I have Joe Danahy, and he's a young man that was introduced to me by Gracie Gaylord of Schilling's Social. And he is awesome. He has a huge heart for foster kids, and his whole goal is to help give back. And he's incredible. I can't wait to talk to him.
Amazing. I know Sydney. I see Sydney sitting next to you with her book, and how you inspire so many people to find their faith.
How do I?
how you do. I mean,
Oh,
not how
yeah.
do you, but you do.
Yeah, I do. I've actually given out 3 Bibles just in the studio, which is awesome.
Those are those big green things?
Yeah,
Those
yeah.
are humongous.
It's a teaching Bible, so it makes it easier to understand the Word of God.
Well, you gave me a book for
I
my
gave-
birthday.
right.
I read that every morning.
Isn't it awesome?
It is, and sometimes it's a little scary.
It's like, oh my God, Lord is talking to you because He knows exactly. But see, that's what it's about. He knows what's going on in your life. That's what's so exciting about our God.
And sometimes I have to read it 3 or 4 times because I can't believe.
I know.
It's like somebody's talking to me.
Yeah.
And it's funny because now that you're
someone,
here,
it's God.
I wanted to tell Dana that what she does, Jesus used to teach in masses, so that those people that can relate or not relate or speak or not speak, that they can learn from others and then perhaps understand where they stand.
Mm-hmm.
And it's funny because as she was talking, I could see a cluster of people that will learn. Sometimes they talk, sometimes they don't, but Max is a good example of she's learning, and she's learning something about herself, and she's seen some of the things that we see in her.
Yeah.
Which is really amazing.
Well,
A lot
Max
of
is
that-
awesome.
And a lot of that is being brought to truth because of the things that you bring forward. And that in itself is courageous, to be able to do the things. I always kid you that you're high strung and everything else, but you are.
She's Italian. Come on.
But you are the, what did she call me? The anomaly?
You're an anomaly.
No, you're the anomaly. Because you.
liken me to Jesus.
But no, I'm saying
Can't be bad, right?
Not to Jesus, to his teachings. What I like is the aspect that you believe in what you believe in, and you've learned the lesson all the way to the moment of last month when you got your, last week when you got your, It's an amazing thought. I mean, it's just amazing the things that you bring forward, and I can relate some of the material they gave me to read. It's really changed my perspective, especially with my grandkids and with my son. And I'm going to call my other son tonight to try to fix some of these things that apparently I messed up at when I was.
We all mess up.
We all messed up. I used to think food was love. So
Right.
my son will tell you, first day of school, last day of school, he goes, I was always at Dunkin' Donuts because it had a shared Baskin Robbins. And he says, Mom, and you wonder why I was a big kid? Didn't think about it, but to me, food was love. It was
Right.
like this reward. So I wonder now that he has a little girl, what if they will do that and see how that changes.
Just don't
or
do it
not.
Monday. Just don't do it Monday.
Food is love. I don't know. I guess every religion is food is love.
Absolutely. Totally agree with that. Yeah.
So Dawn has been with us for a long time, and Dana, and all these teachings now to think about.
Yes.
Now
but
that all the studio's been cleaned out, I've got clarity of thought now.
well,
including
the
the
last,
bathroom.
the last of it was just cleaned out. Yeah. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Wow. Some things never change.
But before we wrap up, we have to go to the other side.
Yes,
to the other
absolutely.
two of our crew, the intern corner.
This is exciting news.
Patricia and Ella, they've been working so hard. When you were out on Monday, I sat and we all had this conversation about really going out and promoting the event and getting sponsors and getting the word out. And me, the Aries, is like, let's go, let's like walk out the door. And they're very calm in here. And Patricia says, I'm making a plan. And she executed the plan, and she wrote her ideas and her scripts, and she researched where she was going to go. And she and Ella went out yesterday, and they followed up today, and they came in with 2 sponsors today, which is amazing. So congratulations, ladies. What was it like day 2?
I think day 2 was definitely more relaxed. I feel like we weren't as nervous as before. We just really connected with whoever we were talking to and just really tried to appeal, like, investing in our future is something worth your money, as we're all very passionate about what we do here at AMP Media. And so I think that's really what sold a lot of people today. So yeah, we did get some donations, which was really good. And I think I'm getting more confident. How about you, Ella?
I think she did a really good job. She was the one to speak and everything, but she did good. So.
Yeah. I think I'm learning my sales. I think I should go to
Sales.
Yeah, go to there. Sales. So yeah, so again, please donate to our May 12th cause and come to Crazy Uncle Mike's. There'll be live music, free food, drinks, and all that fun stuff. So I think it'll be a really fun event. So yeah.
Just to watch the way they've grown over the past week, over the past few days, even since Monday, when I sat there thinking, I'm ready to rock and roll and get out. And they're methodically planning it. And I give you guys tons of credit for not only planning what you're going to say, but where you're going to go. Because Freddie and I just go. We don't even have a business plan on the studio, and it's been 10 years. You guys are so...
Wing it in a prayer.
We actually don't wing it.
It works, though.
We don't. We listen, so we fill the void. But before I forget, what was the name of the restaurant that gave the donation?
Oh, one was the Past Perfect
Consignment,
and then it was AJ's Italian Deli, which actually just opened up. So
where
I
are
feel
they
like we should
located?
really
You know where?
On Meisner Park. I forgot what street though,
Alright, so
but
I
definitely I
wanna
feel
go
like we
over
should go
there and
back
thank them
to
personally
follow up
for
and do a
doing
segment on them because they just opened that location
Yeah,
and
they
it
had a
looked
grand
really
opening.
it looked really good. So definitely we should go back.
And I call her military. Don't ask me why, because we used to have a military, and Cinderella. And I gotta tell you, this one over here on my left, she's different. She has a plan. She attacks things in a certain way, and the other one is just the opposite. And the two of them, if you sit in a room and you see how they battle back and forth, I think they're good for each other. Because it balances it out. It's that chakra in the middle, and they do a good job. They do a real good job about doing it. And these are the things that I look at. Look at Gato's face. These are the things that I look at that I remember when Gato used to start here. And it's to get up and go. And that's really impressive. If anything happens with this fundraiser, it's that you get to see these kids come to life.
I'm so proud of all of them and just their differences in their styles of learning and what they're doing and the people that are believing in us. Robbie, who was here last week with Joe, he just made a donation. He's in Tampa because I can't come, but I'm so supportive of what you all do. And Fonzie's mom is bringing, I don't know, a dozen plus.
I told him, bring the whole gang. All of them.
Which is incredible, just the support. And when they see what you're doing, and Sydney's mom is so proud. All the posts that the new social media crew's been working on, they put those out yesterday, and Sydney's mom's like, oh, that's my baby girl. To see all of that, that you have the opportunity, not only do you have the opportunity, you guys are taking full, I don't want to say advantage, but you're learning fully within the opportunity. You're immersing yourself in it.
And the world is saying, give us more. You know, Gabe put a piece together on Perla Lici and her dynamic show today, which is above and beyond. It's tremendous. Gato and crew put that whole thing together, and he actually captured it, and they put a thing to show that they too controlled this. You know, you got Brooklyn, and you got Sophia.
It's been amazing.
It's just a lot of body parts moving back and forth, and then we have the social media with Heather. They're in there. They're gonna do what is it? Social Circle.
Yes.
You know, that's another show that they're starting up, Social Circle, which is gonna come after us. I don't know when it airs. Apparently they tape, and I don't know why they haven't released it, but we're gonna have to release something today. You gotta give me something today.
And I want to put Dana as the MC for the fundraiser. Let's do a piece on her for the magazine. Yeah. And Heather, I did speak to Andrew, and he said he's so sorry, but the aliens came in and they ate the pies, so he will get you everything you asked for.
The aliens ate the pie. I don't know what that means.
He said.
But
I don't know, but I figured since Dana was here, I would relay the message that the aliens have now come to the Concord Great Pie Company. Just saying, whatever that means to you, get your pies.
Oh, and referring to you, I talked to somebody who found out that we're working on putting your show on a channel, a radio show, and somebody else called me because they want to do something in Spanish in this direction, and they do that as well. So.
Add it to your business plan. No, I'm kidding.
It just goes to show you think that no one's listening or maybe one person is listening. It isn't true. Elliot's show had over 10,000 hits. 5 of them were on YouTube.
Wow.
That's craziness.
With Sister Rose?
Yeah.
Amazing.
It's an amazing deal. So people are listening, and that's encouraging. Because that mixture and this mixture, and you sprinkle some Dana in there, and the world just keeps turning and turning. It's good stuff.
All right, ready to wrap it up?
Ready.
All right, have a great day, everyone. Wow, what a show. Thank you to our crew. I can't even thank you enough because we had full recordings this morning on green screen. That whole back of the studio was wrapped in green. They flipped it in about 10 minutes and had Robert Ross, and we had Dana, the Ubuntu Room, the book club, Don DeMarco book, Faith Stories Today at 3 o'clock, our intern corner, and then we've got the 2 crew out doing some sales. So save the date, Join us for our foundation fundraiser at Crazy Uncle Mike's on May 12th, 5 to 7:30 p.m. right here in Boca. Support the future in media production. Support our youth and the positive scope of what media can do. We'll see you tomorrow at 9 a.m. drive time.
Don't be late.
Bye-bye.
Well, that's about it for today. Even though the show's over, the Brooklyn Cafe is always open for business. You're invited to join the fun every day from 12 to 2. If you missed some of the laughs from today, Dawn and Freddie S. will bring you more good cheer next time. You can follow the Brooklyn Cafe on Facebook at the Brooklyn Cafe TV to rewatch every minute of the show. We'll see you next time.